Good evening and welcome into Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Sword. Huge day for the Atlanta Braves. We talked yesterday about Spencer Strider, how amazing he looked. But then after the game, they go out and make a signing for a catcher. We'll start there with James McCann. You remember he was on the Mets. If you're a Frank the Tank fan, called him James McCann. So it gives you an idea of what James McCann is, though. Like he's not a lot. You know, he's a typical backup veteran catcher, maybe slightly better than Sandy Leone, who was on the roster. And immediately people are like, oh, what does this mean? I don't think this means anything for Drake Baldwin.
He didn't even get an invite to big league.
Yeah, I think this is simply a depth signing. Drake Baldwin has done enough. That spot is his until Sean Murphy. And then when Sean Murphy returns, we'll see what happens with Drake Baldwin, whether he's going to be on the Major League roster, where they want him to get more reps down in Gwinnett. I certainly think there's a case with how Drake Baldwin has played over the last year that if he goes out there and performs very well, the Braves aren't going to send him back. Like they're not going to be like, you need more reps. We're going to use you. Or basically what the Darno and Murphy thing. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened with Baldwin and Murphy. He has success, but I don't take too much into the signing other than, you know, if Murphy goes down, they might want to have a backup option.
He didn't get an invite to the Major League camp. Like he went straight to Gwinnett. And, you know, if you can read the tea leaves, it's purely like having a bunch of good, not great players, and I wouldn't even say he's good. He's a solid player, is never a bad thing. We just saw firsthand what injuries can do to a team in a season, and our depth was tested. In fact, it was, a light was shined on it that it wasn't good enough. And Alex Anthopoulos is, in some areas at least, catcher being one of them, is not going to let that happen again. And I think more than anything, that's all it is. There's no reason to read into it too much. There's no reason to speculate until the Braves announce the opening day roster. And I think even still then, I never count your chickens. You can get as close as you want to counting your chickens with Drake Baldwin. He's going to be the opening day catcher in San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, all signs point to, even if you look at who's caught the big
He's been catching Strider. He caught Strider in his outing. He's been catching Sale. He's been catching all of our horses.
Yeah. I mean, it's not.
They're not doing that just for.
It's written on the wall.
Yeah, poops and giggles.
It's etched into history at this point. Like, he is going to be the Braves opening day starter. I would be absolutely shocked if that wasn't the case.
Now, the other move you can read into the tea leaves.
Yeah, this one, Angel Perdomo, who had a pretty decent spring. I mean, he wasn't setting the world on fire, but considering the state of the Atlanta Braves bullpen is very, very weak, you thought they hung on to him for 2 years through Tommy John. He pitched decent in spring training. We need arms. You thought he had a damn good chance of making this roster. And it makes me think maybe there's a move following this, because I just don't see. I've questioned this, though, this entire offseason. This Braves bullpen not going out there and getting more proven guys. Like I still, and I've said this a million times, I don't understand how AJ Minter left in free agency. You almost signed Jeff Hoffman, but then the medicals weren't good. So you almost got a replacement. Joe Jimenez is out for most of the season, if not all of the season, after off-season knee surgery. Your two top setup men, and you do nothing after that Jeff Hoffman. It doesn't smell like something. It feels like
doesn't pass the smell.
It doesn't make any sense, guys. Well,
it's that, that meme, the dragon meme, where you got two serious dragons and then the third dragon is kind of goofy. It's the Braves lineup, the Braves rotation, both two serious World Series caliber units, and then you got our bullpen that, quite frankly, wouldn't give the Mets lineup or the White Sox lineup a run for their money. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but this isn't even close to a World Series caliber bullpen. And it is I think the most attainable, get at the trade deadline. You see teams all the time, they really make these signings in the winter to sell them at the trade deadline all the time. But even that just feels like hoping and praying that like a deal is going to come to fruition at the trade deadline. Like what we've got going into the season is not good enough. Simple as that.
Yeah, I definitely think they're going to go out there and whether they improve before the start of the regular season or improve, throughout the season. Like
David Robertson, he would be the fifth best reliever, or maybe probably fifth best reliever right now today.
I mean, he could be like the third best,
Which is crazy.
If we're being real. But listen, they have so much time to fix it between now and the trade deadline. You can actually trade for relievers. They're one of the few pieces you can trade for in like May and June. Like if you're looking for a starter in May, good luck. You ain't finding one. But if you're looking for a reliever in May or June, those kind of things come to fruition. I mean, just think about how many times we've traded for Jesse Chavez in the middle of the season. Like, welcome back, Jesse. We'll see you in a couple weeks. We desperately need you.
And he's sucking right now in spring training.
I mean,
so everything is going according to plan.
He'll be back on this. There is no doubt in my mind, like, given the current state of the Atlanta Braves roster, if Jesse Chavez is released and doesn't make the opening day roster, I think he's in Minnesota right now. Where is that? Where he's at?
I thought he was in Dallas.
Maybe, whatever. Wherever the hell
I
he
think
is.
he's with the Rangers.
Wherever the hell he is. He probably isn't going to make the roster. And guess what? Welcome back to Atlanta, because that's where the state is. But there's a lot of times to fix this. And the Braves are going to win so many games where it's not going to be a 3-run game because their offense is going to carry them once Ronald Acuna gets back. And their rotation is so damn good. It's going to win you a lot of games that way. But it does need to get better by the end of the season. And we'll see what we have in some of these non-roster invites. But I thought it was weird, moving Perdomo so early, given the state. And it makes you wonder, maybe they are in conversations with David Robinson, or maybe they do have a trade up their sleeve before the start of the season, because it would make sense. I mean, it just flat out doesn't make sense that you have a team this damn good in a competitive division that you didn't win last year, with the Philadelphia Phillies winning it by 6 games. And yes, injuries played a part in it, but the bullpen's been an area where the Braves haven't cheaped out on. They spent a lot of money on it, and they've made a lot of trades to make sure it's been a strength of this team for about 3 or 4 years, ever since they won this World Series in 2021. And it's just odd that, they have money to spend. They're way under the payroll they had last year, despite saying they were going to go over it. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's the one area, and even Alex Anthopoulos said, like, when he was talking about...
The only guy we haven't replaced in terms of what they, kind of assess is Joe Jimenez. It's what he said.
And AJ Minter. I don't know why we...
he didn't say that.
Yeah.
Well, you are saying that, and I agree with you that he did not say that.
Yeah.
He, in his mind, somebody there, and maybe it's Pierce Johnson, maybe it's, I don't know who it is, but...
Well, Pierce Johnson was on the roster last year, so he can't be the replacement, because then someone has to replace Pierce Johnson. It could be Dosbell Hernandez.
Yeah.
If he's even on the roster to begin the year. I know people are talking about options with him, and listen, those things play a big factor in these decisions. I mean, just look at the way we've talked about Ian Anderson all offseason, basically giving him the job, despite the fact that he looks nothing even close to a major league pitcher, especially when you compare him to a guy like AJ Smith-Shawver, who really looks to make that next step. But I think there's something coming down the pike here. That's just a gut feeling, because
I think that's wishful thinking.
I really just think so. These things, it's the one area that, like, you can get a reliever, like, at all times of the year. It feels like it's not like this, like, same thing I said about May. Like, you couldn't get a starting pitcher right now if your life depended on it, unless you're looking for Yanni Chirinos,
or you want to swallow that bitter pill of Trevor Bauer, which is never going to happen.
Which is never going to happen in Atlanta. Yeah. Another thing to consider, though, is are they thinking about Ian Anderson as a long reliever more than a starter, and keeping AJ Smith-Shawver and Ian Anderson on the roster, giving him some low leverage situations to see if he can actually get outs against major league hitters when it's like garbage time pitching? That could be definitely a possibility, because we play the Dodgers and the Padres to begin the season, 7 straight games in 7 days. Yep. So a little bit of an odd, quirky start for the Braves, tough start for the Braves. Wouldn't be totally shocked if that's how the season started. And what do they think about AJ Smith-Shawver? I mean, guys throwing 100 miles per hour from the right side. Maybe they're like, hey, you're going to be the closer of the future of this team. It'll be interesting to see. But right now, it's currently constructed, there are more questions for sure than answers in the Braves bullpen, and Angel Perdomo just adds to that formula.